When you die, God is taking me to my future. You want to kill me the way that Rihanna wants to kill me? Her spirit is in the spirit of the world, and it is very non-purposeful. Rihanna's over there, and
Things could have taken a terrifying turn at Rihanna's home this past weekend, and honestly, it's chilling to even think about. Psychosis and obsession are very real, and this situation is a perfect example of how dangerous they can become. People who once had connections to Rihanna, or simply feel connected to her, have started speaking out, including her former partner Chris Brown. But before diving deeper, it's important to understand the idea of a parasocial relationship. That's when someone forms a deep, emotional bond with a celebrity or public figure who has absolutely no idea they exist.
She's there with the devil. They don't want me to get money. They don't want me to be successful. I made $3,000 one day on a day trade trading NVDA. And then Rihanna, she pops up in the spirit with the devil, and they're like, nah, 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 nah. And then they went.
I believe this may explain why Ivana Ortiz allegedly showed up outside Rihanna's home in a white Tesla, parked across from the front gate, and suddenly opened fire from inside the vehicle. Thankfully, no one was injured, but the situation was extremely frightening. Reports claim several celebrities reached out to Rihanna afterward to check on her, including Chris Brown, who sources say was deeply shaken by the incident. Allegedly, he even blamed A$AP Rocky, suggesting that Rihanna's partner should have done more to protect the family. According to those close to him, Chris believes Rocky spends too much time focused on fashion and building an acting career while Rihanna stays home raising their children.
Went over and they attacked a legal case. They went and attacked my lawyer, Jennifer Meister, and they took her spirit and her energy, and they were just right there. Like, I could see them vivid as day.
That's Satan. He just wants to keep something beautiful, just like his Rihanna.
You guys need to wake up and don't give that girl any attention. They want to come over here.
Still, regardless of opinions or past drama, the reality is that this was a terrifying moment for everyone involved. Some reports even suggest the possibility that one of Rocky's rivals could have ordered the attack. Authorities say the suspect, Ivana Ortiz, a 35-year-old licensed speech pathologist from Orlando, allegedly arrived at Rihanna's property while she was simply spending time with her family and began firing repeatedly. Fortunately, nobody was harmed, but the shocking event left Rihanna, her family, and nearby neighbors deeply shaken. Authorities managed to apprehend Ivana in less than half an hour after the terrifying incident, and she was quickly taken into custody and formally charged. Because of the serious danger her actions created, the court initially slammed her with an eye-popping $10 million bail. Prosecutors argued that multiple lives were at risk, people were inside Rihanna's home at the time, and residents in neighboring properties were also in the line of danger. Later, the bail amount was revised to roughly $1.8 million, but officials maintained that the situation could have easily ended in tragedy. As investigators dug deeper into the case, they uncovered disturbing activity across Ivana's social media accounts. Several posts were directly about Rihanna, including one where she demanded attention, writing something along the lines of, "Are you there? Say something to me directly instead of sneaking around and talking to me when I'm not there." And that was just the beginning. In a long trail of bizarre messages, Ivana reportedly wrote about what she believed would happen after Rihanna's death, claiming that once Rihanna was gone, God would lead her into the future meant for her. She also accused Rihanna of wanting to harm her, even comparing the singer's face to the devil. According to her posts, she believed Rihanna was somehow stealing her thoughts, envying everything she did, appearing in her dreams every night, and blocking the life she believed she was destined to live. Ivana even went as far as claiming Rihanna's spirit had no purpose, and that once she was out of the way, God would finally grant her the destiny waiting for her. The situation becomes even more disturbing when you realize Rihanna wasn't the only celebrity she fixated on. Ivana had previously posted strange rants about Cardi B and Kim Kardashian, and she once attempted to file a legal injunction to shut down a concert by Billie Eilish in Florida over complaints about noise. Altogether, the pattern paints a deeply unsettling picture of obsession that had been building long before this frightening moment. What makes this situation even more disturbing is that Ivana reportedly believed these celebrities actually knew her personally. In her mind, they weren't just famous figures. She seemed convinced they were aware of her existence, jealous of her, and somehow inferior to her. And when people started digging through her Facebook activity, they discovered several posts mentioning Drake as well, which left many wondering whether he had any connection to the situation at all. As investigators and the public try to understand the motive behind why she allegedly singled out Rihanna, the most common conclusion is that this may simply be a tragic combination of severe mental health struggles and an unhealthy fixation on celebrities. Believe it or not, situations like this occur more often than people think. Some fans move beyond simple admiration and begin forming what feels like a real, personal bond with the celebrity they follow. Over time, that admiration can spiral into obsession. They start convincing themselves that the celebrity is communicating with them through subtle signals, song lyrics, interviews, or even social media posts that seem like hidden messages meant only for them. In cases like this, individuals sometimes persuade themselves that they've had secret interactions with the star. It's possible Ivana believed Rihanna was secretly following her from a private account or sending coded messages through posts or music. And if she felt ignored, rejected, or cut off from that imagined connection, it could have sparked feelings of anger or betrayal. As wild as that sounds, experts say this kind of thinking does occur in real-life cases involving celebrity obsession. However, not everyone is convinced that's the full story. Some people online are speculating that there might have been a real-life encounter between Rihanna and Ivana that went badly. Rumors are circulating that perhaps Rihanna once visited a restaurant where the suspect worked and treated her poorly, which might have fueled resentment. Others suggest it could have been something much smaller, like a quick meeting at an event that Ivana later interpreted as something far more meaningful. Then there's another theory floating around that raises even bigger questions. What if this wasn't entirely her idea? Some are wondering whether someone else might have manipulated the situation or encouraged her to target Rihanna. After all, celebrities operate in complicated circles filled with business rivalries, broken partnerships, and lingering grudges. With so many layers in the entertainment world, some believe it wouldn't be shocking if deeper motives eventually surfaced. No matter what the real reason turns out to be, one thing is certain: this frightening moment served as a wake-up call. And if there's one thing people close to Rihanna know, it's that she isn't the type to sit back and risk another incident happening again. In the immediate aftermath of the frightening incident, Rihanna wasted no time taking action to protect her family. By the very next day, she was reportedly seen preparing to leave Los Angeles, loading private jets with luggage, baby bassinets, and essential belongings, so she could quickly get her loved ones out of the city. The situation had clearly shaken her to the core, especially because her entire family, including her mother, had been inside the house when the chaos unfolded. At the time the shots were fired, Rihanna was said to be doing something as ordinary as washing dishes, completely unaware that a dangerous situation was about to erupt outside her home. Meanwhile, A$AP Rocky had not been present during the incident and had yet to release a public statement addressing what happened. Following the scare, fans and celebrities flooded social media with messages of support for Rihanna. Among those reportedly reaching out was her ex, Chris Brown, a gesture that immediately sparked heated reactions online. Many fans argued that Chris might not be the right person to offer advice or sympathy given the painful history between them. After all, their relationship remains one of the most talked about controversies in celebrity history. The story traces back to the night before the 51st Annual Grammy Awards in 2009. According to Chris Brown's account, the two were driving in a Lamborghini when Rihanna confronted him over accusations that he had been involved with another woman. The argument quickly escalated into a physical altercation. Rihanna later appeared with visible injuries, including a swollen lip and bruising. Chris claimed that during the struggle she grabbed his phone and even grabbed his crotch while he was trying to drive, which he said led to further chaos in the car. He admitted that the situation spiraled out of control and that he eventually struck her, which resulted in the injuries she sustained. At one point, Rihanna reportedly exited the vehicle shouting for help, claiming he was trying to harm her, while Chris urged her to stop because they could both get into serious trouble. The aftermath of that night was life-changing for Chris Brown. The court sentenced him to 5 years of probation, required him to complete a year of domestic violence counseling, and ordered 6 months of community service. Over the years, Chris has spoken publicly about the incident, acknowledging the fight and describing how the argument escalated from shouting to violence. However, as time passed, other controversial narratives began circulating online. Some rumors suggested that tensions between the couple may have been connected to accusations involving an STD allegedly linked to Jay-Z. According to those claims, Kris confronted Rihanna, which allegedly sparked another heated confrontation that eventually led to the physical altercation in the car. There have even been theories suggesting Kris was set up to take the fall for everything that happened, though those claims remain unproven. Regardless of the different stories that have surfaced over the years, the reality is that the incident left a permanent mark on Chris Brown's reputation and career. More than a decade later, that night continues to follow him, shaping public perception and resurfacing whenever his name becomes connected to Rihanna again. For Chris Brown, the shadow of that infamous night with Rihanna never truly fades. No matter what he does, conversations about him often circle right back to that 2009 incident. Over the years, the story has resurfaced in unexpected places, including legal battles. In one lawsuit filed in 2021, a former housekeeper named Patricia Ayla claimed her sibling was brutally attacked by Chris Brown's Caucasian shepherd dog, Hades. According to the lawsuit, Brown himself called 911 after the alleged incident. Ayla reportedly described a horrifying scene, saying she witnessed the dog tear several inches of skin from her sister's arm, leaving her with lasting trauma, including PTSD, severe anxiety, and recurring panic attacks. While the case itself had nothing to do with Rihanna, the housekeeper allegedly planned to bring up Brown's past with her in court to strengthen the argument about his character. Chris Brown's legal team quickly pushed back, filing motions to prevent any mention of Rihanna, arguing that the previous incident had no relevance to the dog attack case. And that just proves a larger point. The controversy involving Rihanna is something that continues to follow Chris Brown wherever his name appears. So now, with reports claiming that he reached out and expressed concern for Rihanna's safety after the recent scare, the public seems divided and unsure how to react. Some people view it as genuine concern, while others find the situation uncomfortable given their complicated history. Meanwhile, another issue fans are talking about is how easily people seem to locate Rihanna's home. Many are shocked that her residence has almost become a sightseeing stop for curious fans and onlookers. Situations like this have sparked serious conversations about whether she needs to strengthen security or even consider relocating entirely for the safety of her family. There are also people pointing out that Rihanna has always been relatively open and approachable with fans. She often tries to live a normal life despite her massive fame, stepping out in public spaces and interacting with people more freely than many other superstars. But critics argue that this level of accessibility can sometimes come with risks. They often compare her to artists like Beyoncé, who is rarely seen casually moving through public places without heavy protection and careful planning. At the end of the day, the entire situation has left people stunned and uneasy. From the frightening incident outside her home to the renewed conversations about past controversies, it's been a whirlwind of drama and speculation. But now the conversation is turning to you. What do you think about everything that's unfolded, including the reports that Chris Brown allegedly sent supportive words to Rihanna? The debate is definitely far from over.